All right, welcome. So, I am going to break down some of the things that you can use from Norwex to wash your dishes because dishes are something that we have to do all the time. Raise your hand or give me a heart if you have to do dishes all the time. Yes, yes, yes. Dishes are constant, right? So, Norwex has some dishwashing options, and these are all hand dishwashing options that I'm going to be talking about today. The first two are the netted dishcloth. Give me a thumbs up if you have the netted dishcloth, and then the Sperry sponge, and give me a heart if you have the Sperry sponge. All right, these are life savers, and I'm going to show you in a minute a little bit about them. But these two both come in a pack of two, so you're going to either get two of the netted dishcloths, or you're going to get two of the Sperry sponges. For the Sperry sponges, I always like to say put one in your kitchen and one in your bathroom to use it. Or once your Sperry sponge gets old and grimy, maybe like this one, look at this one, and it kind of gets flat. So they're going to really last forever. This is a brand new one. That's the one that's at my sink. It doesn't stink. Can you imagine a sponge that looks that bad and doesn't stink? Like, that's crazy, right? Like, that's probably one of the worst looking sponges there is. If you got a worse looking sponge than that, let me see it. But our kitchen sponges are one of the worst things that harbor bacteria. And so this has it is silver, but it doesn't have silver in it. You can use it with dish soap, and I highly recommend our dish soap. It is so much bang for your buck, and you're cleaning what you're eating off and putting in your mouth with something that is clean. And I'll show you how it suds up and how it does that in a minute. But this is also has a antimicrobial foam in it, which means it doesn't get stinky. So you're going to have two sponges that are not going to get stinky. So I literally use the same sponge for months. It starts to maybe get gross looking, or probably at least once a week. I throw it on the top rack of my dishwasher and I wash it. Same thing with my netted dishcloth. Now this thing, when I first got it, I was like, what is this? Is this even a Norwex product? Because like this thing looks crazy. And then I started using it and fell in love with it. You also can, if you drop an egg on the floor, how many times are you cooking breakfast and drop an egg on the floor or baking? You can take this and put it over top and just completely pick it up. Maybe I'll show you guys a video of that. Just with the cloth, rinse it out. It's crazy. But as you're cleaning with this, I call this the loofah for your dishes. You're going to be noticing it gets off so much stuff, and it is so easy. Then when you get done, if there's like food or anything inside of it, maybe like eggs or grease or anything like that, you're going to be able to just rinse it all out. And it just kind of comes out of this netted material like magic. Like it's phenomenal how it comes out of this netted material. That was an older one. This is a newer one, and it does have a tag where you can hang it, but a lot of times, like you'll see here, I just have it hanging right over my faucet because we use it all the time. Especially it's good for the kids because my kids are not so good at rinsing their plates when they get done, but it's like, okay, at least just put water on it and rub the netted dishcloth on it a few times to help me out a little bit here, right? So the netted dishcloth is going to be for all dish washing, but so is the Sperry sponge. And I really just say, are you a cloth or sponge person? It really just depends. I'm kind of both depending on what I'm washing, so I like to have both there with me. This actually looks and maybe even sounds and feels like it might scratch, but if you have a Sperry sponge, tell me how much you love the Sperry sponge and let these people know that this thing really does it stink after like so many uses. It blew my mind. It really still blows my mind because I used to buy so many sponges and throw so many sponges away because they get that stink where you just like have to like walk it out to the trash can like this, right? Anybody ever done that? Yep. It's gross. All right, so these feel like they're going to scratch, but they're not going to scratch. You can use them on your cookware. You can use them on, if you still have nonstick cookware, you can use it on that. You can use it on all kinds of cookware. You can use it on your Pampered Chef bar pans without soap. I love it with that. This is what you're going to use with your cleaning paste on your flat top stove and on that hard water in your bathroom, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. But this sponge or cloth person, these are some of my favorites. So then last but definitely not least is the Spearnet, and this one is a little bit crazy. They're all nice and pretty. This one has been used and used and used and needs to be replaced. But basically, this is my heavy duty scrubber. Like if I've let a pot sit and it's got something dried in it, or I've got a cookie sheet with something on it that's burnt, this is what I'm going to, because this thing lasts forever. It doesn't get all stinky because it all rinses out as well, and it just gets off everything. So literally with these three things, you can tackle any kitchen nightmares, because I've had, sometimes my kids bring stuff out of their room that I didn't know was there, and it's like a science experiment is growing in there. So if I can tackle that stuff, you can tackle whatever life throws at you. So I just want to show you how well the dish detergent foams up. So our dish detergent is very, very concentrated. So this is my loofah, our kitchen loofah, right? And I'm going to just put a little, I didn't even mean to put that much. Just put a little bit on there, and this is going to wash so many dishes. Just look how soapy and sudsy that is, right? So I have just our cutting board here, and I'm just going to show you how good and soapy and sudsy that gets that cutting board. So it does do such a fantastic job. The netted dishcloth is also good on those bar pans. I'm not supposed to put soap on them. Oops. Don't tell my Pampered Chef lady. I'll make sure it all gets off good. So you can use it on there without soap. I got a little bit ahead of myself. But these are, I always mess up in these things. Sorry guys. But these are just going to suds up really good. And sometimes you might ask yourself, does that stuff even work? Does it really suds up? You can literally do a sink full of dishes and put a few drops of that in there, and it's going to suds up and let you do so many dishes. So here I have my Speary sponge, and I use this a lot with my cleaning paste. I use this with my cleaning paste also to clean the inside of my sink when I get done with my dishes. But I just want to show you how much you can hear the scrubbing action going on there, and you can see the bubbles. Not as much as the loofah, but plenty to get anything clean. And I just wanted to show you some of those options that are there for you to wash your dishes a little bit more safely with Norwex. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I will be glad to answer them. Talk soon, guys.